Geographically isolated from the mainland, but strategically vital to Russia, Kaliningrad is a small but strategically important Russian exclave that lies between Poland and Lithuania along the Baltic Sea. This video explores the many factors that make Kaliningrad significant, including its geography, history, military significance, economic value, and more. The geography of Kaliningrad is unique. Situated on the southeast coast of the Baltic Sea, it is bordered to the south by Poland, a member of the European Union, and to the north and east by Lithuania. Russia now has a presence in the center of Europe, serving as a geopolitical and commercial entry point into the region. Kaliningrad's strategic importance is mostly derived from its access to the Baltic Sea. Unlike many other Russian ports, it offers Russia a year-round warm water port that is free of ice. From ancient times, the Baltic Sea of Kaliningrad has been used as a commercial route. The oceans were used by prehistoric peoples like the Vikings for exploration, trade, and conquest. Transporting items like fish, furs, and amber, all highly prized in European markets, was made easier by the water trade. Nearly 15% of all marine cargo flow worldwide is tied to the Baltic Sea region, making it a full nautical domain that facilitates major trade between the Baltic Sea nations as well as between the region, the rest of Europe, and the rest of the world. In addition to being home to a sizable fleet of commercial fishermen, the Baltic Sea is becoming an increasingly significant channel for the import and export of energy. Russia also places a great deal of significance on the Baltic Sea region. It offers a significant market for Russian exports, which include half of the country's cargo traffic and energy exports via shipping and pipelines. The regions that make up the Baltic Sea are divided. On the northern side is the Gulf of Bothnia, which includes Bothnia Bay. The Gulf's southern basin is formed by the Bothnia Sea. The Aland Sea, which separates the Bothnia Sea from the Baltic Sea proper, is located beneath it. However, Russia's coast meets the Baltic Sea at two different points. The first point is in the Gulf of Finland. The Gulf of Finland connects St. Petersburg to the Baltic Sea. The second point of Russia's coast is the exclave Kaliningrad. It is a remote but strategically important area along the Baltic Sea coast. The Suwalki Corridor, named after a town in northeastern Poland, connects Belarus to the Russian exclave of Kaliningrad. It is the region that surrounds the approximately 65 kilometers of Polish-Lithuanian land border. Kaliningrad was formerly known as Königsberg, a well-known city in East Prussia, a part of Germany prior to World War II. The area had a long history as a prominent academic and cultural hub in Europe. Nonetheless, both during and after the conflict, the geopolitical environment drastically altered. Significant changes in Europe's territory resulted from the fierce fighting and eventual defeat of Nazi Germany. The frontiers of the post-war era were largely decided during the Potsdam Conference, which took place in July and August of 1945. The debates and solutions taken at the Potsdam Conference were greatly influenced by the Soviet Union's leader, Joseph Stalin. Citing geopolitical and security considerations, he argued in favor of Königsberg's handover to the Soviet Union. The Allies agreed to this geographical adjustment because of Stalin's influence and diplomatic skills, bringing Königsberg, later renamed Kaliningrad, into Soviet control. In order to ward off Soviet expansion in Europe, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, was founded in 1949 as a collective defense alliance. NATO's main external goal was to prevent the Soviet Union, a union of communist countries that included Russia, from expanding its hold in Europe. In 1955, the Soviet Union established the Warsaw Pact, a military agreement with nations influenced by it in Eastern Europe in retaliation to NATO. This signaled the start of an extended period of Cold War tensions between the East and the West, marked by a furious weapons race and political rivalry. The geopolitical environment changed dramatically with the fall of the Soviet Union. Following the independence of the former Soviet republics, Russia became the new state. Initially posed little of an issue for Russia because Poland and East Germany were members of the Warsaw Pact, an alliance led by the Soviet Union and intended to rival NATO. However, following the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991, the situation significantly changed as Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia became members of NATO in 2004. While West Germany, which had been a member of NATO since 1955, joined East Germany in 1989 after the collapse of the Berlin Wall. Ultimately, both of these countries joined NATO. Sweden and Finland first remained neutral. That is, they were not members of NATO, while both the nations have also submitted applications to become participants of NATO following Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine. Finland and Sweden joined NATO as full members in April 2023 and March 2024, respectively. The borders of NATO are now closer to Russia as a result of the alliance's membership expansion into nations like Denmark, Finland, and the Baltic states. Russia is the only nation that opposes them all. Tensions are further heightened by these nations' security worries and historical grudges with Russia, as they actively back NATO's military presence and defense programs. For this purpose, Russia has stationed a sizable naval squadron in this area to handle potential emergencies. The main base of the Baltic Fleet lies between Poland and Lithuania in the Russian exclave of Kaliningrad. Russia may show power and keep a strong navy presence in the Baltic Sea owing to this station, which is a strategic asset. The Baltic Fleet is made up of a variety of warcraft, including diesel-electric submarines, such as the Kilo-class submarines, missile boats, corvettes, and frigates. Additionally, there are roughly 25,000 troops in this region, more active than Lithuania's current military force. Ships carrying cutting-edge missile systems, like the Pantsir M and Stil 1, support the Baltic Fleet's air defense. These systems offer a multi-layered defense against missiles and aircraft, among other aerial threats. Tensions between Russia and NATO are heightened in the Baltic Sea region. Russia views NATO's positioning of military soldiers, regular naval exercises, and weapons in the Baltic states and Eastern Europe as an immediate danger. However, NATO also intends to establish Gotland as its own operational base, situated in the Baltic Sea, around 250 kilometers from Kaliningrad. Considering its location in the center of the Baltic Sea, Gotland is a key location for policing aviation and maritime routes. The final line of defense separating Russia from the whole Baltic region is the Swedish island of Gotland. With Sweden's official entry into NATO, the nation intends to fortify the island more quickly and prioritize retaliating against Russia's increasing military. Now, in the Baltic Sea, Russia is considering redrawing its maritime borders by taking advantage of Finland and Lithuania, because the Convention of the Laws of the Sea states that the area 1 nautical mile above any nation's base coastline is known as territorial waters. The area up to 200 nautical miles is known as the exclusive economic zone, and if there are any islands near the sea, it can be confusing to determine which point is the baseline of the sea. Russia has been accused by Sweden of trying to expand its borders in order to take control of Gotland Island. However, the Russian government has refuted these accusations. There is no doubt this iced-free sea is indeed a precious gem for the nation in many aspects. Russia's oil export has risen from 2.5 million tons to 3.4 million tons in the first half of January 2023 through this sea. Most importantly, the Nord Stream gas pipeline that transported natural gas from Russia to Germany passes through the Baltic Sea and avoids the customary transit nations. That's all about why Kaliningrad is a gateway to the Baltic Sea. What do you think? Will Russia be able to redraw its borders? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.